Hi everyone, meteorologist Ed Valley here taking a look at the Northeast. We have our snow and rain moving in here now. It's about 11:25. And it's interesting. It's still very warm along the coast, especially south of Long Island and I-78. So let's take a look at those temps right now because I think that's a big differentiator here. And you can see a lot at 34, 36. It's 40 in Philadelphia. It's 37 in Newark. But notice the temperatures in southern New England where it's snowing here. 32, 33, 35, 34. You get the idea. It's in these areas. There could be some slushy accumulation on pavement, but it's still a grassy surfaces type system. And you see how dry the area is ahead of it. It's 37 in Northeast Mass, 40 in East Central Mass. As this precip moves in, look at how low the dew points are, only in the low 20s. So what happens is you have I'm going to just kind of draw on this. So let's say you have a dew point here and a temperature here. As the atmosphere cools, the dew point goes up, the temperature goes down, and they meet in the middle. So that's why we're seeing these temperatures get pretty close now to freezing, where it's coming down pretty good. So as we move through the rest of today, temperatures where it's snowing will be between about 33 and 35 degrees. So it's not going to be cold, but it's cold enough to snow. And if it comes down hard enough, like we were saying there will be opportunity for some accumulation on pavement. But you see here, this is around 3 p.m. The rain snow line getting pretty close to Allentown, pretty close to Newark, onto Long Island here around 3. And then as we head through the afternoon, watch the rain snow line actually advance northward. We may even have some sleet in parts of coastal New England here this afternoon and evening. But you notice I-78 is the delineator here, and snow gets up into central and parts of northern Vermont, New Hampshire as well. And here's the look by 7 p.m. Here's the look by 9, and by 11, everything's done. So how much snow? Well, still a complex message because, again, a lot of this is not accumulating on pavement. But you see here I-78, really the delineator here between nothing to the south, too warm, and more appreciable accumulations in the higher elevations. And you can see how elevation is playing a role here. Along the coast, it's a trace to an inch or two, but you go inland, western Connecticut and Massachusetts, 2 to 4 inches. Far southern Vermont, 2 to 4 inches. The Worcester Hills and the Monadnocks, 2 to 4 inches. The Catskills, 3 to 5 inches. The Poconos, 3 to 5 inches. You see that? So some of these higher elevations, especially above 1,000 feet, we'll see a little bit more. So this will end here tonight. And one thing to keep in mind tonight, temperatures are going to fall below freezing rather quickly. Here's the look by tomorrow morning. It's in the 20s for most of us. Okay, so anything that is lingering will refreeze this evening. Once we're past this system, though, we are going to dry out for Thursday. Thursday looks like a good day. Friday starts off as a good day. But you notice by late in the afternoon and especially into the evening, we're watching our next storm approach from the west. And this one continues to look rather interesting across the interior. And it's still all about where does this low pressure track? So here's the look at 7 a.m. Saturday morning. The Canadian model has this low pressure in eastern PA and it's going to advance northeastward. However, the European around this time, further southeast, you look at the GFS, right over DC. You look at the other Canadian, a little bit further to the east, okay? Now, the envelope here is important of paths because it's going to dictate precip type and who sees snow and who sees rain. So 11 a.m. on Saturday morning, the Canadian has it over Allentown. The European has it much further south and east. You see that? The GFS over Philly. That's an important delineator because look, the rain snow line, instead of it being over central Vermont and the Poconos, like the GFS, on the Canadian, it's well west. It's about 100 miles west. So a Canadian type would be a lot of rain for Saturday in New England and the Mid-Atlantic, ending as a period of snow in Vermont and New Hampshire, or excuse me, Vermont and New York, maybe far northern New Hampshire, whereas a European-like solution would bring the low over, instead of going over Keene, New Hampshire, it goes over Providence, and the result is heavier snow in Vermont, even parts of New Hampshire here, and parts of even northeast PA and the Catskills. So there's still a lot to unpack here. The GFS is kind of in between, has the low going over Worcester. So just to give you an idea, the European is over Providence, the Canadian is over Keene, New Hampshire, and then the GFS is over Worcester. So actually, this run here of the GFS is probably a realistic solution, a blend of everything, and that would result in mostly rain along the coast, ending as a few flurries across the coastal plain, but ending as a heavier period of snow in Vermont, New Hampshire, northwest Maine, and parts of western New York. Total precip with this storm is also impressive, anywhere from a half to 2 inches of moisture. And then again, grain of salt with these snow amounts, but you see the risk here from central PA up into New York, central and northern Vermont, and northern New Hampshire. Our friends in southern Vermont and central New Hampshire, right on the hairy edge here, as well as parts of the Poconos. Okay, so not very confident in these areas quite yet of a big snow event, but we're getting more confident that there's not going to be a lot of snow along the coast. So threat zone is far north for this Saturday system, and it's probably even going to start as rain up there. But we'll have much more on this tomorrow. If needed, we will have a storm briefing tomorrow for our north clients who would be impacted with snow from this. For now, there's enough uncertainty where we're going to hold off. And like I said, we're going to have plenty more on this as we move forward. Last thing, want to check on temps. Through the week, again, Thursday, Friday are warm. Saturday starts warm, ends cold. Sunday is cold, 20s and 30s for most of us, but by Monday, we're back into the 40s and 50s. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday next week are all warm. So this weekend, knock on wood, might be the last big winter hurrah, especially across the coastal plain, but even still, not seeing a lot of cold across the north as we head into the middle of March. So that's where we're at here today. We'll have more tomorrow. If you have questions, just let us know.